Yeah, how's it going? Today is 26th of November, Tuesday, and we're going to be taking a look at market, what kind of opportunities we can find. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at number of articles. Some of those articles are very, very long length, quote unquote, right? Since some of those articles will be important but very long, and we're not necessarily be able to read the entire article. I might have to do it off camera since we won't gonna fit within 10 minutes otherwise, right? So first article that would be biggest employment reforms in generation unveiled to Great Britain to get Great Britain working again, right? This particular part will be important as well as myself or others most likely have had experience reaching out to job center to accomplish anything. It's impossible. From making impossible, perhaps arranging consultation with the job center. I would say perhaps during that consultation, the actions that could be implemented and some things can be put in motion, how to progress, right? So if there is a people who are looking forward, how to organize some experiences and or work opportunities for people, right? To pay for electricity, food, all these kind of things are very important, right? With that being said, that will be unveiling the biggest reforms of employment support for generation working or pensions. Let's keep name. That is the 26th today's date, published in the Get Britain Working white paper, marking the government's first major intervention to achieve ambitious 80% employment rate. It's very steep, but it's very important, by the way. So as well as perhaps many people might be interested in engaging with council if in this case job center is underperforming and can accomplish its goals. Why we're paying for a job center? Ideally, perhaps there's a software available and that will be direct communication. That's it. Or we don't need job center and people sitting there. Why we need job center? If we remove job center out of there and we could have everything on the software somewhere on the app, even better ideally. So that would be free facing areas, right? So that would be people looking for job, people offering opportunities, right? As well as administrator. So that would be white paper and the feedback how to build it app, right? And we can take out of the taxpayers massive amount of people sitting there. If you would call, I could show so many examples, but perhaps that's a unique experience. It's not to say that all the people in the job center are this way or that way, but some of those experiences are terrible, by the way. But anyway, so that would be perhaps we can cover a little bit more in detail, but not necessarily the entire article, right? That will be some of the bullet points, but again, we won't have enough time to read the entire article, right? That will be a white paper on the biggest reforms to employment support for generation published today, backed by 240 million investment. So perhaps that investment could be into building a system. That system should be in a way where that system would function with very little oversight and or need for so many buildings. So how many job centers are how many buildings? How many buildings? How many people? Kinda in those buildings, kinda doing something, but I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, 240 million, right? Job center transformation across Great Britain and every young person to have access to apprenticeships, quality training, and education opportunities, as well as perhaps that would be important mental health support to expand extra capacity deployed to reduce waiting lists in areas with the highest levels of inactivity. Or waiting lists. Okay, okay. Reduce waiting lists in areas. Okay, okay. Perhaps currently economically inactive and unemployed. There's a lot that could be done there. Small steps, and every person is different, and every person has different pace of how fast they might be able to pick up new skills and or doing different compared to what they've been doing at the time. There's a lot to unpack there, but anyway, let's progress. Measures announced in white paper will fuel growth as the government rebuilds Britain in decade of national renewal. The entire area, I'm trying to understand it right now. I'm not necessarily presenting this information in the best possible way, but this particular area would be very, very important when it comes to since we're only focusing on the job center, perhaps entrepreneurship and people starting businesses, could be perhaps not if there will be a lot of people who working currently in the job center, perhaps they should start their own businesses and do something else, right? That's not necessarily within this article, but that would be important, and themselves they can take some of those quality training courses and fulfill some of their dreams and aspirations, right? Starting businesses instead of perhaps as of now being slowed down by society, right? Being need of sitting in there in the job centers, right? Perhaps they should consider doing something else, right? But anyway, we can cover a little bit of the entire article. That it comes as a stark figure shows almost 1.5 million people are unemployed, over 9 million people are inactive, a record 2.8 million people are out of work due to long-term sickness. Young people have also been left behind, with 1 in 8 young people not in education, employment, or training, and 9 million adults lack the essential skills they need to get on in work. So perhaps the pace, some jobs might not be the best, all those kind of things, right? The case also is the only major economy that has seen unemployment rates fall over the last 5 years, which has been largely divided by a significant raise in unemployment people out of work due to long-term illness, health, and no outstanding unemployment support systems, which ill-equipped to respond to this growing challenge. The white paper set out a fundamentally different approach to the employment support system, backed by 240 million of investment to target and or tackle the root cause of unemployment and inactivity. A better join of health skills and employment support based on the unique needs of local communities, right? We will not necessarily have enough time. It's just so many articles to cover, and there's perhaps so many things that myself I have never dealt with, right? So let's progress. Currently, there's a storm in UK, and there's a lot of flooding. There was a person driving a tractor. A lot of things happening, right? And climate change, if anything, right? Since there's differences in temperature, as well as our sea level is rising, right? That would be tree planting guidelines for farmers and foresters. So that would be new guide identify 33 tree species best suited for planting on farmland. So if possible, that would be absorption and alternative fuel sources, all these kind of things to constantly take a look at, right? As well as not necessarily just one species of trees, or should be, since that's not the way how forests do function as well. Anyway, I don't want to go too much into detail on that, but that climate change is important, so I'll touch on it. Let's progress and let's take a look at the next slide. That would be something that will be published today. British Army and or KDF tests cutting edge military tech in joint training. The British Army and or Kenya Defence Forces conducted a joint training exercise. There's a naval vocation country using a new state-of-art training technology to better monitor and train soldiers. A vital part of UK-Kenya defence partnership to make the region safer and more secure. The British Army and Kenya Defence Forces recently conducted a 6-week joint military training exercise, doubled, let's keep name, the annual exercise, which ran through October to November 2024, took place in, let's skip that, training annual, okay. So perhaps that would be important, some of that equipment, I don't know, it seems that equipment, I don't know. Perhaps when it comes to manufacture, where that equipment would be manufactured. Start with there, and from there we can progress. And there is perhaps a lot of technology that was put into that equipment to work. Perhaps some of that technology won't necessarily would work in a cold climate, warm climate, in sand, in water. So there's a lot of things to mention there. If anything, let's progress. Deputy Government Hemis presents at the Association of Port Health Authority Annual Port Health Training Day. Okay, sure. Perhaps there's more to it, right? We were taking a look at United States and what opportunities might be available in the United States, and perhaps again, so we're taking a look at the United States, and that would be something that perhaps UK themselves are considering or taking a look at, right? I don't know. I haven't read this article yet, but I have seen contact information. Perhaps we can reach out and to understand better how we can support some of these initiatives, as well as automation and need of people being there. Perhaps we can. Previously, we were taking a look at job center. Perhaps what we're doing right now, others could do exactly the same thing. People sitting in job center, perhaps they would consider starting a business, as well as reaching out to present port health authorities, right? As well as in some of the innovation solutions, how to overcome some of the obstacles in ports. Here you go. Perhaps they might be having some finances available, something that as of now I can't see, but perhaps there might be some finances available in the United States. So that's just an example of how to find some of those opportunities up there, right? But there is a contact information, as well as a different, perhaps government departments, as well as training. And there might be a ways of submitting. Again, I'm reading all this information for the first time, right? If anything, let's see if we can reach out and just to say hello, and if there would be a person to respond in a job center. Usually, that's personal experience, right? Perhaps here, if there is a person, otherwise we're gonna need to have an app or software. If person cannot respond, we need to see alternative to that, right? Let's close on that. Thanks for watching. See you next one.